Hi everybody, this is Jose Heredia with ADJ here for another Facebook Live. Welcome. Today is Thursday and we're almost at the end of the year, and we would like to showcase a couple of flagship moving heads for you for this Facebook Live. Here we present to you the FocusSpot 3Z and the Vizi BSW 300. These are two different moving heads, and we're going to today compare and contrast these moving heads and how they can help you create some really great light scenes for your next event or party. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. This is the FocusSpot 3Z. This is pretty much the flagship of the FocusSpot series. We have the FocusSpot 1, the FocusSpot 2, and this is the FocusSpot 3Z. And as you can see, this is a pearl version. We also have a black version should you need to have a black one, which is more common, but least common is the white version, especially for those of you who work in the event production industry, especially have a wedding or some sort of all-white decor type of scenario. The white pearl will go in nicely for those type of situations. And what we essentially have is a moving head with a 100-watt powered LED light engine inside. We have all sorts of features that come with it. We have one color wheel with 7 colors. So here's a couple of the colors scrolling through. Really great color saturation on those colors. Those are dichroic colors on the color wheel, and they really give off some great colors: red, green, blue, magenta, yellow, orange, and even a little bit of the UV. And a great way to showcase those colors with either the color scroll or just dial in the color, or you can even do color splits or split color combinations. It does have some sort of a index color wheel so that you can really fine-tune where that mix goes. So if you want 1/4 of the color to be red and the other to be white, you can really fine-tune that, or just half and half. But full color wheel on the FocusSpot 3Z. We move on to another great feature, which is 2 Gobo Wheels. This is the first of the Gobo Wheels. This is a rotating, indexing, and replaceable Gobo Wheel. We have a total of, let's take a look here off the top of my head. Gobos are, there are several Gobos in there. I'll get you the exact number of Gobos in just a few moments.
Alfred, Edgar Bernal, and Marco are watching.
Oh, Alfred, Marco, and Edgar Bernal. Hey, how you guys doing? That's part of ADJ team. They're also watching and joining us today. So here is several of the Gobos, which are really cool because some of them are, as you can see, rotatable. And not only that, they're indexable, so I can not only stop the rotation of the Gobo, but I can move the rotation in any direction that I want and be able to fine-tune. Since they're replaceable, I could even add my client's monogram or logo into the Gobo wheel so that I can project that monogram or logo on the wall, on a ceiling, or even display it on a pattern on the dance floor. So it's really great, flexible moving head for companies who do a lot of production events, weddings, and all sorts of corporate events. We do have questions, by the way, so as you're joining in.
What controller are you using?
The controller we're using today is MyDMX, which we can show you in just a few moments. MyDMX, I have my lighting programs. Pardon?
Which one would you need? Well, there was 2.
Which one would I need? Well, you could use almost any DMX controller. We have both hands-on, non-computerized DMX controllers that you can purchase from ADJ, and we have software solutions both on the iPad and on the personal computer. Here on the personal computer, though, we're using MyDMX 3.0, and I'm able to really dive into customization of each individual moving head, so I could program scenes for this moving head as well as this moving head, and it makes it really easy. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you the other Gobos that the FocusSpot 3Z contains. These are stamped static Gobos, which means they don't rotate, but I can access each one of these Gobos individually, or I can do a scroll either clockwise or counterclockwise, as you can see here. We got a couple of cool Gobos, and as well as a prism effect. Let's go ahead and activate that effect. This is a six-facet circular prism, which really adds more to the texture of your projections. And so if you have a static Gobo on the moving head, you add the prism and multiplies that static Gobo across a circular pattern using the prism. We also have a six-facet linear prism, which you can use. And by the way, the prisms are rotatable and indexable, so I can have the prism rotate as well as be static if I wanted to, or maybe adjust the rotation or the degree of rotation on the prism because it is indexable. And it has all sorts of other great features. In the back here we have PowerCon input and output, which are a little bit more robust and professional inputs. We have 3-pin DMX input and output, as well as our fuse. In the front here we do have a full menu, 4-button LCD menu that allows you control of both the DMX control, the manual control, gives you information about the fixture itself, of the LED temperature, be able to change the dimming curves, gives you all sorts of control over the moving head if you wanted to do it manually or via DMX. And of course the ability to have a lightweight fixture, which is ideal for most companies who are looking to transport these very easily and set them up quickly. So this is again the flagship version of our Focus Spot series of moving head fixtures, starting with the Focus Spot 1, the Focus Spot 2, and the Focus Spot 3Z, and this one happens to be a Pearl version of the Focus Spot series. Now, as you can see, this is Spot, which is great. We also have a frost feature that allows you to not only be a spot moving head, but also a wash moving head. Aside of that, we have the Vizi BSW 300, which is the flagship moving head for the Vizi series. We have several moving heads in the Vizi series. We have beam style moving heads, but this one happens to be a hybrid moving head style of moving head. The hybrid gives you 3 different styles of beam action. We have a spot, which I can show you. This is the beam mode, which gives you a very narrow beam. This is the spot mode, which is more of a traditional mode, and we have the wash mode. So that's 3 distinct features in one package. And those of you who are looking for having a stellar moving head or a stellar fixture in your arsenal, this is it. This is going to give you so much flexibility. It'll give you beams when you need it, especially if you're running a light show for a nightclub or a permanent installation. It'll give you spot mode if you're doing it for theater applications or production applications, and it'll give you a wash mode if you wanted to do more of a wide wash area for those of you who are into production or theatrical applications. Really a great all-around fixture with tons and tons of feature. We'll go through each feature one by one. This moving head has 2 separate color wheels. We're giving you basic colors on the first color wheel with red, green, blue, magenta, yellow, orange, and we have a separate color wheel for more exotic colors such as UV. We also have CTO if you wanted to really adjust the output of the white light that's coming out of it. And by the way, it's running a 300-watt LED light engine with almost 50,000 hours of lifespan. Both fixtures here that we're featuring today both have LED light engines, and the great benefit of LED is the fact that you don't really have to replace bulbs for a very long time. If you want, we'll turn off the lights so you can really appreciate the colors on the Vizi BSW 300. That's the second color wheel, giving you 7 colors for each color wheel. And here's the first color wheel. giving you even more color combinations. You could even combine the colors if you wanted to. And you do have indexing colors so that you can do split color combinations, which is really great for those of you who want to get more creative with your light scenes and be able to really paint with your light using the split color combinations. We also have two separate Gobos. So here's our rotating, indexing, and replaceable Gobo Wheel. As you can see, we have several Gobos that give you really great. It's super bright, isn't it?
It hardly adjusts to see it.
Yeah, it's so
really
bright that the camera is trying to adjust to be able to capture it. Well, we're trying our best to make sure that comes out. Gobo Morphing, yes, Edgar Burnell's requesting Gobo Morph. We'll do some programming just a little bit. Let me go through some of the other features. We have, this is the first Gobo Wheel, which is again rotating, indexing, and replaceable Gobo Wheel. We have a static stamped Gobo Wheel with beam reducer. So if you are running the BSW in beam mode, you can rest assured that we have Gobos that are specifically designed to reduce that beam into a pencil thin beam so that they're very tight, very narrow, very in right now. That's the current fashion in beams is very narrow beams. So we do have that capability in the BSW 300 as well as Prism. So we take our Gobos and we add a Prism to it and now expand the effect of the output that's coming out of it. Here we have a 6-facet linear prism as well as a circular prism. Here's the 6-facet circular prism, which is again indexable and rotatable. So you could do several effects with the prisms and the Gobos and the colors, giving you some really cool eye candy effects.
When in beam mode, what is the tightest beam?
Got it. So in beam mode, we have a degree, several degrees actually. So in beam mode, we have a beam angle of 1 to 7 degrees. 1 to 7 degrees, and 1 is super, super tight, especially when you use the beam reducer. Now I can program the beam reducer to show you how it kind of works. And if you give me one moment, I could go into a programming mode using my DMX. So here we're in this scene called Beam Spot Wash, and I already have my beam mode here, my spot mode, and my wash mode right over here in this corner. So I've already programmed several scenes within this button. So here in my beam spot wash scene, I can go into my beam scene, and I could adjust the beam going by the Gobo. So I could pick a different Gobo. We're going to pick a stamped Gobo with the beam reducer, and we can clearly see that that beam is getting smaller and smaller. So here's without a beam reducer. We're going to apply the first beam reducer, and that's going to bring it down a little bit. We're going to apply the second beam reducer, and that's going to bring it down even more. And then the last beam reducer is about the tightest that will be. And with focus, I could adjust the fine-tuning of that beam. It's not a zoom, it's more of a focus, so that gives us a little bit more tightness. And you can see there the tightest that you can have with the beam reduction. Gobo applied. So great question, guys, on that. Keep them coming if you have any further questions. And you were talking about Gobo morphing, Edgar. We can show you what a Gobo morph can look like. I'll have to program it in, so I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to use this scene that I've already created called Gobo 1. We're going to duplicate that scene so I don't mess up the original scene. We're going to call this Gobo Morph. I'll walk you guys through it. So Gobo Morph. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from one Gobo. We're going to stop the rotation of the current Gobo that's going on. Let's see, here we go. We're going to stop the rotation, focus on one Gobo. Let's pick one that's kind of cool. We're going to adjust the focus on it. I think that's as best as we can do. We'll try to find another Gobo that's, there we go. How about that one? And so we're going to create another scene. So we have this Gobo. We're going to create another one using a different Gobo. from another Gobo wheel. So the first Gobo wheel is the rotatable Gobo. Now we're going to use a static Gobo so that we can morph in between those two Gobos. We're going to try, how about that one? Let's focus it a little bit more. Okay. So Gobo morphing, we're going to transition from one Gobo to another just using our focus and MyDMX to transition between them. So between scene 1, we're going to add a fade time of about 3 seconds so you can see how cool that Gobo morphing is going to happen. So here I'm adjusting the fade time between scenes. So we're going to go from there. Here's the fade time of 3 seconds. Here's another fade time of 3 seconds. And now when we play it back, we should be able to see the Gobo morph in effect. So MyDMX will take into account that fade. So it looks like we're going to have to do a little bit more programming. What we can do is set it here. Or what we can do is actually, this is what we have to do. Layer the Gobo one on top of the other. That's what we have to do. So I'll take this scene and we're just going to apply the Gobo. So here it is, 42. So that way it's a little bit more smoother. We're not changing the actual Gobo itself. 53. Here we go. All right, now we're going to play it. It's just going to move that focus. So here we have the first Gobo. Then it's going to morph into the second Gobo. That's how you do Gobo morphing. It's essentially layering two Gobos on top of one another. And all you're doing is adjusting the focus from one point to another point so that you get two looks using two different Gobos. It's a great question, guys. Keep them coming. That's how you do Gobo morphing. You can do it with almost any Gobo. You can even add a little bit of rotation. You can add a prism. You can do all sorts of effects, even add color. So guys, any other questions? Today we're talking about our flagship moving head products, both for the Focus series and also our Vizi series. We have the Focus Spot 3Z and the Vizi BSW 300. They're both LED moving head fixtures. So one is a 100 watt LED, the other one is a 300 watt LED. They're both great products, but one is mostly focused as a spot fixture and the other one is a hybrid fixture. So if you're a person looking for versatility, I think the Vizi BSW 300 will be your fixture of choice, giving you a little bit more flexibility to give you both a beam fixture, as you can see here, a spot fixture. There we go, let's bring it back over here. A spot beam fixture, as we programmed, a spot fixture, or a wash fixture. And those three effects are really a great tool set to have when you're producing a show for a lighting setup, or maybe even in a club atmosphere, or even a theatrical application. Giving you those three distinct fixtures will save you money from buying additional fixtures to your arsenal. Once you have those three in a hybrid fixture, there's no need to buy a separate beam moving head or a separate spot or a separate wash. They're all kind of combined into one. And then we have the Focus Spot 3Z, which is more of a fully featured spot moving head fixture with all sorts of cool features such as Gobos, Prism, color, and it's smaller and compact so that it's more portable for those of you who are doing production and are always on the road. Both fixtures have cases available through ADJ that allow you to transport them. Here we have the DRC Vizi, which is an ideal case for the Vizi BSW 300. We also have a case for the Focus Spot 3Z and the Focus Spot 3Z Pearl, which allows you to transport your moving head safely and easily between gigs if you are doing events on a regular basis at different places. So any questions you guys have, please go ahead and post them up on the Facebook chat page or chat room, and we will be glad to answer your questions. Brian is on the chat room, as well as Candice and any questions will be appreciated. You know, I didn't even...
Alfonso and Ernie Baez are watching.
Wow, we got a lot of ADJ employees watching us.
Yeah, they're all here now.
And if I can't answer the question, I'm sure one of them will be able to answer the question. And those of you who are watching from out of town or out of state or out of the country, we want to thank you very much for tuning in. We really appreciate you watching our videos and, of course, asking questions about our products. Looks like we got a question.
Just some shout-outs.
Shout-outs, yes.
Casey Brown.
Casey Brown.
Joey Blue.
Joey Blue from New York, I believe, or Florida. Probably from both.
Martin Ventura from Hawaii.
Martin Ventura from Hawaii. God,
Ford from London.
very cool. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Let's see if I could log into the chat room and send out a shout out to all the people who are watching. Where are you guys watching us from, and where are you celebrating your Christmas? Are you going out of town, or are you staying in for Christmas? Shorty on the radio, hello. How you guys doing? Rogelio Reveles Garcia, bienvenidos. Jasper Hoist, how you doing? Jose is now watching. Yes, I just joined the chat room. So sending you guys lots of love from the chat room.
Said he's watching from downstairs.
Edgar Bernal is watching from downstairs. Thank you very much.
Taco yet?
Oh, actually, today we're having King Taco brought in for us, and it's amazing. If you guys have never had King Taco, and if you're in LA, you got to try it. If you're not from LA, it's a local taco restaurant that has a very distinctive taste to their salsa and gives the tacos a very cool and great tasting taste. So tell us more about where you guys are from. Again, today we're talking about moving head fixtures, the flagship moving head fixtures of the Vizi and the Focus Spot series. Really great fixtures for all sorts of applications, from production to permanent installation to mobile DJ to all sorts of great ways to use these moving heads in a great way. Essentially, if you're looking to create a stunning visual presence, especially for projections, if you want to project Gobos on the wall, both of these fixtures, because of their Prism and their Gobos, really give you great projections, as well as saturated colors. Where
Prism does the aerial effects.
yeah, the linear prism gives you aerial effects. Let's see if we could create a prism effect so you guys can really appreciate how they look pointing towards you. So I got this prism one right here. Now we're going to focus it back towards the camera. And she's going to walk back. So here we go. Whoa. Check that out. Now, if you have several moving heads in multiples of 2, let's say 2, 4, 6, or 8, all in a rig, on totems, on the floor, and you're shooting these projections out towards the audience, it's going to give you some great aerial effects. You could adjust the color, of course. Let's add a little bit of color. We can do red. We can do yellow. We can change the direction of the rotation. We could stop the rotation and just focus on one Gobo. We could do Gobo shakes. This is the stamped Gobo, by the way, we're using. So even then, we could add some more of the prism effect. So instead of a rotating prism, we could do the linear prism, and they'll both rotate, and that's a really cool effect. You could stop the rotation or make it rotate the other way, adjust the speed of the rotation of the prism. There's so much you can do and enjoy. Looks like we have another question on our chat room.
Sonido Maya would like to see the Gobos. Could we maybe throw it against the other wall?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sonido Maya, thank you very much for watching. We're going to turn this moving head back to the wall so you can see the Gobos, the projections. How about that? This is really awesome. We're going to adjust the rotation of the prism. How's that? I'll turn it a little bit more this way. By the way, we're using my DMX to control the moving heads today. I'm going to change the different Gobos. So these are the stamped Gobos. We have this Gobo. Oops, that's a color. try this Gobo. So we have open, as well as Gobo number 1. Gobo number 2 is coming right up. Got 4-dot system. Gobo number 3. Again, we have several Gobos available, both stamped static Gobos, a total of 7. And we also have rotating Gobos. So let's add a rotating Gobo, see how that looks. And we could focus that Gobo a little bit. Ooh, I love the spiral Gobo. You guys want to see something cool? What if we did a mesmerizing effect? Ooh, we're going to try to hypnotize our audience using this Gobo. Now, if I combine both Gobo Rotation along with the Prism Rotation, then that gives us a really cool effect. So we're going to add a little bit of the Gobo Rotation right there. We got Gobo Indexing. We're going to make it go fast, make it go slower. It's all up to us, whatever we want to do. Now imagine that filling the walls up of your next event or production. Make a really great, stunning presentation, and will wow your audience. So guys, any other questions? Once again, this is our Facebook Live on 2 of our flagship moving heads. Brian, do we have any more questions? We do have a scene where I created where they're just kind of going all around crazy with different colors. We can end with that scene. So please make sure you go to our website, adj.com. Go to the individual pages. We have a page on each product, the Vizi BSW 300, as well as the Focus Spot 3Z and the Focus Spot 3Z Pearl. And we'll list all the specifications, including accessories that you can buy additionally, including wires and software and transportation options for you on our website. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well as Instagram and even Snapchat. For those of you who are snapping away every day, we do post up often. And of course, you could always come to us here at adj.com for more information on other products as well. So on behalf of everybody here at ADJ, we want to thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Woo-hoo! Look at those lights moving. They're dancing.